There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Blood, Gore, and Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Van Ghoul. If you're a fan of horror movies, this is the place for you. Each week, I get a friend or two to come hang out and talk about our love of horror movies. Now it's St. Patrick's Day. It's a holiday, so you know who's here. Welcome back, my lovely leprechaun, Mrs. Ghoul.
Get over here! My wife! Flawless victory.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up, babe?
Not much. Another holiday. Another guest spot.
That's right.
Here I am.
Here we are.
Surprise.
Surprise. So we'll just get right into
Let's do
scary
it.
movie news.
Scary movie.
News!
So fitting for today, it was just announced this week that there is a Leprechaun reboot in the works from director Philippe Vargas and Lionsgate. So Vargas apparently wants to go back to the roots of Leprechaun. He'd love for it to be scary as hell and also hilarious, which is hard to do in my opinion. Not many movies can pull off the scary and also funny at the same time, but we'll see. But most importantly, he says practical effects are so key. So I'm pretty, I wouldn't say stoked, but, a new Leprechaun movie. I tried to watch the other Leprechaun movies in preparation for this, and I made it to the second one. That was it. It's so
That's
bad.
as far as you got.
It's so bad. Yeah. I mean, the first one's not good, but like Jennifer Aniston is in it. So like it's better. But yeah, the second one was bad, and there was no way that I could make it to the rest of them. Maybe next year.
I've never seen any of them.
Yeah, you're probably better off.
I mean, it's a general consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the character. I love Warwick Davis, but yeah.
I like Warwick too. Like he's a good actor, but the Leprechaun movies have never quite appealed to me. Who would have thought?
Right. But a new reboot, a new one. I'm down for. Even if it's not good, if there's some gnarly practical effects,
You're here for
I'm
it.
here for it. Yeah. Speaking of practical effects or lack thereof, the Crow trailer was released this week, and people are still upset about it. So it seemed that when the pictures came out a few weeks ago, 99% of people were upset about it. And then the trailer came out, and now I think about 50% of that 99 are still upset about it.
Okay.
So it won some people over, but yeah, people are still mad. But yeah, my only complaint with it was all the CGI. But I mean, it's an action movie.
It's 2024, and it's like what they do.
Yeah. But I'd always just prefer practical, but I get it. But yeah, I'm hopefully optimistic. I have zero expectations. So even if it's not good, I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, with the pictures, I was enjoying the memes
Yeah.
that were coming out. They were pretty funny, but I didn't have any real feeling about it. I was like, well, whatever. Like, it's 2024. The Crow was made in like
1994.
94. Yeah, so there you go. But then you showed me the trailer the other day, and honestly, I was like, I think it looks pretty good. Like, yeah, they're kind of sticking with the base theme of the original movie,
Mhm.
which still has really no theme to the comic much at all. So I don't know. It just looks like an updated version. So who cares? Because like all movies are getting updated versions. It's just that most people that are complaining, it's a movie that was released in their lifetime
Mhm.
as a youth. That now,
Yeah,
is
that's
like,
what it is.
like all these other movies are like, oh, well, that first one came out before I was born, so it doesn't matter as much. Like, okay, well, get over yourself. Give it a try or don't. Who cares? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously can't appease everyone.
no.
So there's going to be haters and people who write it off right away, regardless of what the movie is. But yeah, just the overwhelming negativity that was out there especially when those pictures dropped, it was like a holy shit moment.
Yeah. That just
And I'm
seems
like,
to be
like
like
who-
the
like-
running theme, though.
Yeah, like I guess if you want to be heard on the internet, you have to be
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
That's what gets views. But yeah, overall, like I said, I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
hoping for the
intrigued.
best.
I'm intrigued to
But,
at least give it a shot.
yeah.
That's one that I would watch. Not really scary.
Yeah,
You know?
it's not a horror movie per se, but
No.
But yeah.
More John Wicky thriller. I can dig on that.
yeah. So yeah, I think it looks like a fun time, if anything. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
So
maybe we can have a date.
Oh,
We
what's
got
that
guys. We got one coming up though for Abigail.
for Abigail? Yeah.
Yeah, that is one that I was like, what's the movie that they made before that I really liked with the bride?
Ready or Not.
Yeah, and it's very like on theme with that kind of like comical but horror-esque and more like jump scary.
Yeah.
Not so like, and it has that gore, but it's like that outlandish gore that's not. It's funny to me, but yeah, that's our date coming up, guys. So
Date night.
we'll get to spoiler-free talk about it a little bit, maybe after.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Not sure of a
Very excited for it.
holiday before Memorial Day, though. Besides April Fools, which
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got stuff coming up, so we'll see.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe I'll just talk for like a second, and you can just put the clip in.
Okay.
Okay. Moving
There we
on.
go. So, in celebration of the 45th anniversary of Dawn of the Dead, it is returning to theaters for a single showing starting April 12th. It's kind of all over the country. There's a few theaters that are having repeat showings of it for like a month or so. There is one in Pittsburgh, but it's going to be at Monroeville, the movie theater in the mall, on the 12th. I'll be there on the 13th. And it's a one-time showing.
Go spend the night.
I mean, I could, but I'd have to get the other guys though to do that because
Yeah.
we're all riding up
Yeah.
together. So probably not.
We'll just drive yourself there. It's not that far.
Yeah, but they're all going with me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
We're
meant
all
on
going
the
to the
12th.
con.
I meant,
Oh, you want
on
to
the
drive
12th.
there, watch the movie, and drive back, and
I
then
mean, it's
drive
not that far for
there
you.
again the next day. I mean, yeah, but that's a lot of driving.
You can handle it.
Yeah,
I drove to Florida all the way. You can do
Proud of you.
Monroeville twice in 2 days.
yeah, we'll see. That just seems like a waste of gas. That's not cheap.
Or we could just watch it on the TV here. It's not
Yeah.
like we don't own it.
It'd just be cool
On
to
the
see it
day.
at the mall.
We could just
Where it was
order a
filmed.
big old projector screen and put it right here behind us.
It has
and then-
nothing to do with the screen, though. It's where you see it.
I mean, I get it, but we can at least pretend we're there then.
Oh, okay.
You didn't let me finish. Like we're in a theater and just pretend we're watching
We'll
it
just
in Monroeville.
Pretend we're
theater.
at the mall.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see.
we can make the best out of this situation if we need to. Okay.
All right.
There's always ideas here.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Moving on again.
Moving on again. So there's a new adaptation of Salem's Lot, and it's been in limbo for quite a while. It was originally set for a theatrical release back in September of 2022. Then it got bumped to April of 2023. And this week it was announced that it's going straight to streaming and it should be available on HBO Max. But there's no release date yet for it. So who knows if we will ever actually see it. What are you looking for?
Am I losing my mind? Is Salem's Lot Stephen King?
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking for your book.
Oh,
I was like, I
It's-
swear to God, I've seen it.
it's
So I was
maybe
looking
there.
over on these ones, but
Yeah, it's somewhere.
okay.
But
Moving
yeah.
on.
So yeah, we'll see if it actually comes to streaming or not. But it's one that's like been anticipated.
Okay.
People have been excited for it. It's but
Just keeps getting the bump.
getting the bump. And yeah, so at this point, maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't.
Mm.
Stay tuned for more. In other news, Ari Aster is working on a new film for A24 titled Eddington. So it's described as Ari Aster's contemporary Western, and the cast is stacked. So we have Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Luke Grimes, Austin Butler, Deirdre O'Connell, Michael Ward, and Clifton Collins Jr. So yeah, this seems, just judging by that 2 sentences of information, kind of cool. Now, I haven't watched Beau is Afraid yet. I've heard mixed things on that one, but I do love me some Hereditary, and I love a lot of Midsummer. Not the full thing, but it's a good time.
My boy Pedro is just in
He's
everything.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
these days. I mean, because isn't he like in the new Fantastic Four? Didn't he
Yeah.
just get cast as
Yeah, he's
one of the?
Reed Richards.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew you would know.
Mhm.
But yeah, like that was the other big old news. So
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
I probably
Pedro's
will
on
not
a hot
watch
streak.
this one that he's cast in because Hereditary is a big fat no for me.
Well, I don't think this is going to be a horror movie.
Okay, well
because
then-
Beau is Afraid isn't.
Okay,
It's not a horror movie.
listen, I'll give the trailer a chance first.
Okay.
Okay, when that happens.
But yeah, I've been putting off watching Beau is Afraid because it's fucking 2.5 hours long, at least.
That'll take you
and,
2 days.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't have much time for all that. I barely made it through Poor Things today.
Mm.
That was 2.5. That was fucking way too long.
Yeah,
Great movie.
That's what I've heard. Like little long.
Yeah, it was a great movie, great performances, visually really really cool, and like the first, like it's black and white at first,
Okay,
and then you get to color eventually. Once
like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But once you get to the color portion of it, the scenery and everything look just like BioShock Infinite,
Oh, interesting.
and
Okay,
like Emma Stone's in like this blue dress and shit, and I was like, oh, this
just
just
looked-
makes me want a fucking BioShock Infinite movie so
Yeah.
bad because that game is so
Speaking of, I assume you've seen the trailer for Fallout for
Oh,
Prime.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can't wait for that. That looks so
good.
good.
Yeah,
Looks so
fucking
good.
Walter Goggins is
Just like, gears started
Yeah.
turning in my brain.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I haven't talked to you about that. Actually, I keep forgetting because I watched it after you had gone to work one day. So
yeah. No, that
I
looks
was
really
like,
good.
oh,
I'm
that
stoked
looks
for it.
so good.
Yep.
Stupid Prime in their commercials though.
Yeah, I
like I'm
know.
adding.
Like they don't have enough fucking money.
Guess I have bathroom breaks again. Back in the 90s. Here we go.
Fuck you, Bezos.
It's our like, can you be done before the commercials are over? Run into the kitchen
Oh
and get
yeah,
a snack.
right. Yeah, I mean, luckily the commercials aren't that long,
No, but you
but
know what I'm
still,
saying.
like, come on. You really
Yeah,
need to
that's stupid.
upcharge for
Yeah.
commercial free now.
we only pay like $150 a year to have your service as it is. So, and you still take forever to deliver shit
Mhm.
if you even deliver.
Yeah, 2-day service no longer.
Come on.
Fucking bullshit. And the last bit of movie slash show slash game news we have for today:
Hmm.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yes.
You heard about it?
Yes. Of course I have.
I figured, but
I have
you
my
had
Mario
mentioned
shoes
it.
on.
You hadn't mentioned it, so
No, I've been very busy playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so I don't have time to talk much about video game. I need to finish this one first,
fair enough.
which I already I saw it, did like the quick read about it, and I was like, well, like I'm not gonna fucking buy it anyways. Like, of course,
Yeah.
I bet you I played through the storyline of Luigi's Mansion on the Switch 3 times, and then played online a lot. I love that game. It's so good.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's so fun. And I love that, like, Luigi always deserves his own game. He's my boy. I love Luigi.
But yeah, that Luigi's Mansion 2 HD comes out June 27th.
And it'll be mine on
And
June
it'll be
27th.
yours. And no word on a Luigi's Mansion 1 HD
Nah,
ever. Not now, not
no,
ever.
never. Who put that sidewalk here?
So we got some podcast news and updates to go over here. So I've saved this little tidbit for right now. I was going to mention it the other day to you, but
Right now.
so Devin Sawa on Twitter had put up a tweet, whatever you call it now, an X. He had
It's a
posted
tweet.
an X, but it was like, "Why are you the biggest Chucky fan?" And I had, of course, saw it late because I'm usually never really on Twitter, but people were replying why they are the quote unquote biggest Chucky fan, and so I replied and I said, I'm a huge Chucky fan, but I can't say I'm the biggest Chucky fan because that title goes to my 6-year-old daughter. And I sent a picture of her dressed as Chucky.
Yeah.
Well, Devin Sawa didn't reply.
No,
He's
that's
probably
all right.
mad that I didn't talk to him at Steel City a couple
Maybe.
years ago. But Don Mancini,
Oh,
the
shit.
creator of Chucky, did like it.
Nice.
So that was like my little.
Nice.
yeah.
I love it. Did you tell the child about that?
I did not tell the child.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean she's
You can tell her when she's older.
yeah.
You
She
can
doesn't know
also
who Dog Mancini is.
remind her that Savini scared the crap out of her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, that was that. That was cool. Then I got an email this morning from Pod Status. Maybe it's spam, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But it said that in the last 30 days, we are currently number 146 in the category of film reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Couldn't have done it without you.
No. Not at least not on the holidays.
Yeah, right?
Patting my own back
There
here,
you go.
guys. Tooting my own horn. Woo,
So yeah,
woo.
like I said, I don't know. It might be legit, it might not be, but I'm
Yeah.
going to say we're number 146.
Heck, better than 150.
That's right. I don't know how many there are out there. It might be 150, but we're not last.
There might be 146.
There might be 140. Well, shit. Maybe we are. No, I'm pretty sure there's like hundreds upon hundreds. I Googled it real quick, but yeah. So that was cool. It
Looking
was a
good
cool
for
little
you.
thing.
Cool,
So
cool.
that's a thank you to all of our listeners out there. Appreciate you.
You are appreciated.
And big news is we'll be taking a little break, a spring break, if you
Ooh.
will, for the next couple weeks. So I've got some really cool guests and interviews lined up, and I want to take some time to catch up and prepare and tweak a few things with the show. So I've been super busy lately with advanced screeners for movies and doing the reviews on TikTok, and now with getting some pretty big guests scheduled. I don't want to put out kind of half-ass episodes or any content that I'm not proud of. So just taking a few weeks off, then we'll be back better than ever. But yeah, make sure you're following on the social media spots to stay up to date with all the guest announcements, all the podcast news. I will let you all know when the next episode will be. But yeah, make sure you're following everywhere. And we do have 2 new merch designs in the shop as well. I just launched them the other day, so I tweaked the Ghoulsist design one last time, and I added a brand new podcast tattoo font design. They're both available right now in t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts, so check them out, and all the other merch at GhoulSquadShop.com.
On that note, if y'all want a palate cleanser and you want me to jump in for a week or two and talk about video games and anime, just tell that guy and I'll do my best.
Oh, okay.
Because that is my true wheelhouse. Is I know anime and I know video games.
That's true, yeah.
And speaking of anime, I said I was going to mention this. So I did the very dedicated rewatch of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden probably about a month ago now, that I had wrapped it up. And when you meet the Jinchuriki, which is one of the tailed beasts, human owners, they have the tailed beast inside of them. So you meet 8-0 is the tailed beast, and Killer B is the host, if you will, as is Naruto is the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. So you meet 8-0, and he's like this dude that he just rhymes, he raps all the time in just talking, and full on adult. But I'm listening to him, and I like to play the game that I don't look up right away, because I'm like, it'll come to me. But this voice is like, who the fuck is this guy? I know who it is. So finally I broke down and looked him up, and it was Bo Billingsley, which, funny enough, he was in a small role in one of the Leprechaun movies. So kind of here's our tie to the theme. But he was the voice of Jet in Cowboy Bebop. And I was like, no fucking wonder, among many other voices, you could connect the dots with. But I was like, dummy. No wonder I knew his voice so familiar, because I'm a huge Cowboy Bebop fan. And I was just like, why could I not but it was just that I know who that is, but who are you?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it was that fun connection. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And currently I'm watching the Jujutsu Kaisen, which I seriously think if you started from the beginning, it's got some creepy as hell things about it that it's super cool. I love it.
Love it.
Loving
I ain't
it.
got time for anime
No.
at all.
Come on.
All 6,000 episodes.
Depends on what you're doing, though. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen only has 50 some.
Oh, is that it?
It's only 2 seasons, 26 episodes each, so 52 episodes.
Maybe one day.
they're like half an hour episodes. It's not like
I mean,
they're an
that's-
hour
yeah.
long.
I guess it is a little easier when it's half hour.
Yeah, I mean, all anime is only about half an hour.
Yeah.
Even Seven Deadly Sins is only half an hour. Now that one's like 5 seasons. So
Hmm.
Naruto is like 1,000 episodes. So
Yeah.
I wish you all the luck. It's one of the
Nah,
big 3.
I'm good.
Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. You're looking at 1,000+ episodes per.
Nah.
Same with Dragon Ball. OG. Rest in peace to the creator.
Yeah, right.
He just passed.
R.I.P.
But anyways, if you guys would like me to have a palate cleanser episode of just anime, we can talk. There's lots of creepy anime out there too, so we can keep it to the theme.
You got to keep it to the theme.
Got to keep it to the theme.
Can't be blood, gore, and goals if there's no blood, gore, and goals.
I mean, to be fair, most of the like shonen style has some kind of blood, gore, and gold to it. It's just not necessarily scary.
Well, yeah. But yeah, send us an email. bggpodcast@gmail.com.
You want to hear it?
If you want to hear
I'm
Mrs.
here.
Gold take over
I'll
for a
do
week,
it. I'll do it.
she'll get right on it.
Yeah.
All right. Here's our main topic.
There was an old man of Madras whose balls were made of fine brass. So in stormy weather, they both clanged together and sparks flew out of his ass.
I hate the movies, but I love him. It happens.
It happens. It does happen.
I'm just not in the right mindset this year for Leprechaun.
That's fine.
So, like I said, maybe next year. But yeah, tonight's we're just gonna do we're just gonna go over 13 scariest creatures from Irish folklore. Since I did not sit down and watch all 8 Leprechaun movies, and that would have been a very
It's okay.
tedious act
It's okay.
and a very tedious conversation. Since you have watched 0 Leprechaun movies,
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't have any input anyways.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got 13 scariest creatures from Irish folklore. Of course, number 1 is leprechaun. So, according to this article, might as well get this out of the way, as it's the one you're most likely to be familiar with. But despite what you may think, leprechauns traditionally wear red, not green. Said to have the appearance of a 3-foot-tall bearded man, these fairies are associated with shoemaking, which doesn't sound that scary. But if you saw a tiny old man hammering away on a loafer in the middle of the woods, I'm betting that you would need a change of pants.
I don't know, man. Probably wouldn't freak me out.
Probably
that much.
not, no. Just
No.
a bearded
And it
man
does
in
make
red.
sense that he should be wearing red because in the Emerald Isle, he would just blend in and you wouldn't see him.
Mm,
You'd be like, what's that hammering noise?
yeah. Huh. Yep, not so scary.
Mm-mm,
That actually makes it sound less scary.
Yeah.
So,
It's
good
fine.
job. Psh, red leprechauns, get out of here.
Sheesh.
Number 2 is a banshee. So probably the second most famous Irish creature. Banshees are female spirits who are more often heard than seen. Their horrific sounding wail means death is coming for a member of the family who hears it, and no one can escape the cry of the banshee.
Yeah, so that actually, there's a little bit more to that. That it's said that the banshee is actually only connected with certain Irish families.
Okay.
So I would have to look it up specifically. There was like 4 or 5 like very common last name that they're more connected with, and usually it's like a family member that would hear the cry of the banshee for somebody that was going to be dying too. So that's just, of course, things I've read. So don't say I'm like you're wrong. Like I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm right either. So there's just things I've heard, but it is the banshee is very interesting because she's not meant to necessarily be evil. Just saying, hey, death is coming. Here I am.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, I'm going to kill your whole fucking
But she doesn't do the
family.
killing. She's the one that just does the transporting.
No, she's just a warning.
She's their warning whale and the transporter. Like she doesn't actually do any of the killing.
She's the Jason Statham.
Yes.
She's just out here
Yeah.
transporting.
Driving you fast.
Again, that makes it less scary. Damn it.
Well, you know.
Number 3, Doulahan. Doulahan? Doulahan. The
Probably
fairy.
hand.
Doulahan. Hand.
Do the hand. Do. Sorry.
So this fairy is basically like the headless horseman of Sleepy Hollow, except way more metal. I already like it.
As the Irish are.
Right? So he carries his head in one hand and a human spine whip in the other, and he rides on a supernatural black steed. The Dullahan travels the countryside at night looking for souls to claim, and if he encounters you on your path and calls your name, you immediately die. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know.
That takes the Headless Horseman, and yeah, it's way more metal. Exactly what it said.
Fine with
A
me.
spine in one hand and his head in the other. Fuck yeah. How does he stay on the horse?
How did Christopher Walken stay on the horse?
He didn't hold his head in his hand, did he?
Yeah, he holds like the
No.
lantern or the whatever in his hand. Yes, he does.
But then he has his other hand free.
No, because he had the sword. I mean, you are like your legs are in the saddle, like your feet are in
Yeah.
the rings. I mean, you squeeze your legs, you're
I
gonna
mean,
stay
yeah.
on a horse.
I
If
feel
you're
like
a
there was
good rider.
one hand holding on to the reins, though.
I don't.
We'll have to go back and look.
Christina, if you're listening,
Christina.
could you answer that question? He ran after you in the movie.
Yeah.
So.
I'll have to ask her at the
Yeah.
con.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
quick question.
Hey.
Can I borrow you for a second? So yeah, that was cool. Number 4 is Selkie. So these are seals. What?
Do you have the other one on the list that goes with the Selkie?
I don't know. I didn't
Okay.
look at any of these. I just
The marrow.
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Well, if you don't, we'll talk about it.
All right, cool. That works. So number 4 is Selkie. These are seals who are able to turn into humans on land. Selkie stories frequently involve someone unwittingly marrying a Selkie, only to find out later on Only to find out later on that their beloved spouse is, in fact, a creature of the sea. Now that I think of it, this would actually make for a pretty good reality show. Help, My Wife is a Seal. Coming this fall to Comets.
So,
Dun, dun, dun.
it is believed that if one was to find a Selkie's shedded seal skin on the coast and take it, the Selkie was unable to return to the sea. When someone takes their own life by drowning, they are turned into these mythical creatures, is another little lore. So that's kind of interesting. Turn into a Selkie. They're the half fish, half human that can just walk up on water. But the marrow is the other one. So I didn't know if it was on your list.
I just looked. It's not on the list.
So the marrow is more commonly associated with the siren. So
Okay, yeah.
the Selkie is not as beautiful as what the marrow is to be, but then the marrow is not as violent as the siren is. But the marrow is a lot more like a siren. So like half mermaid, half human, but they have the same ability that Ariel only dreamed about, which was to just walk on water or
walking around.
walk on land when they wanted to. And but they, again, there's tales that the marrow can be violent, but not quite like the sirens. But they also were known to wear. I'm not going to be able to say the Gaelic term for it, so it translates to magic caps, like little hats, which allowed them to transform into humans and walk on land. And there are tales of men trying to steal the caps from the marrow in order to keep them on land for themselves because they were so beautiful. And the Selkie is just not as like supposed to be as beautiful, but they're still like humans are in awe of them anyways, of both. So
They're entranced by them.
yes.
Interesting.
Go on, sorry.
Go on. Number 5. Eos C. Something like that.
Mhm.
So many of the creatures of Irish folklore can be categorized as different types of fairies, and the most prevalent of the bunch, and those that still inspire the most belief, are the Eos C, Irish for people of the mounds. The Eos C are a race of fae, folks said to live in the mounds that are common across the Irish countryside, often invisible but capable of appearing as usually beautiful humans. The Eos C can cause all kinds of problems for you if you mess with their homes, including bringing you illness and bad luck. Because of this, it's not uncommon to hear about sacred fairy trees or fairy rings that locals make sure to steer clear of. So yeah, all these Irish folklores, they like to turn into beautiful people.
Well, here's what I'm going to say on that. Have you actually ever seen an ugly Irish person? I have not. I think that people are just naturally Gorgina from Ireland.
Gorgina.
I mean, come on.
You might be right. They're just made differently.
They just built different. They built beautiful.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
That's probably why the royals tried to starve them. It was probably out of jealousy, because a lot of those people tried to take over the lands. They weren't really Irish born, and
It's
truly,
true.
I think they were probably jealous, because even dirt poor, they were Gorgina.
Gorgina.
I love it.
No, that's a good point. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Irish people are just more
just beautiful.
They're more beautiful than you. So sorry, not you, my wife. I'm saying you.
I mean,
Listening.
a good percentage of my parents' ancestry, they came from Ireland. My mom's got all that paperwork.
Yeah,
So
we're both a little Irish.
I'll take some of that beauty, though.
There we go.
You could give me some of that back.
So number 6 is puka. So a shape-shifting fairy.
Mhm, mhm.
Pukas can take the form of different animals and can appear human, yet they will always retain some animal features. Often associated with the harvest, some farmers will leave the portions of their crops in the field for the creatures to eat, so as to get on their good side. You never know if a puka is going to be good or bad, except on November 1st, Puka's Day. Mark that one on the calendar.
I will.
Be back for that one. When they have no choice but to be helpful to anyone who meets them. We might get a puka on the show.
Maybe you have one on the show
Oh,
already.
shit. What a twist.
What a twist.
Puka.
Yeah, there's actually more to that as well.
What,
On the-
puka?
yeah,
Well, yeah, these are just very small descriptions.
I know.
So number 7.
He's on my list, so.
Okay. Number 7 is a changeling, which is no stranger to horror movies at all. Common across Europe and not just Ireland, these are fairy babies that have taken the place of a human baby. But sometimes changelings can take the place of adults too. The most notorious Irish changeling story happened in 1895 when a man named Michael Cleary murdered his wife Bridget, claiming that she was a changeling and that his real wife had been abducted by fairies. The judge didn't buy his story, and he was found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Gotta watch out for those changelings.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, some of my favorite movies have changelings in them.
Hmm. Not to be confused with the Angelina Jolie film.
No. No.
Sorry, I had to say it.
No. Not that one. Number 8 is a Kelpie. So although more commonly reported across the sea in Scotland, Kelpies pop up in Irish folklore as well. They're a type of water horse that appears to weary travelers, enticing them to hop on for a ride. But doing so seals your death warrant, as the Kelpie will take you for the ride of your life before leaping into its watery home to drown and consume you. So if you ever come across a soaking wet horse in the woods that seems real friendly, probably best not to try and ride it.
Like, ironic that it takes the ride of your life, like literally.
Yeah, literally takes your life. Literally. That
Maybe
just
not.
makes me think of Frozen, the water horse in there,
Yeah.
and then it's like a whole other vibe to that movie now.
Mhm.
She gone. Number 9 is Slaw.
It actually
Slaw?
wouldn't be pronounced that way in Gaelic, but I am not great with the Irish language. I won't lie, it is very confusing.
Mm.
Like, I struggle to say Saoirse
Mhm.
for the actress, because it's not remotely how you spell, like phonetically,
Right.
how you would say that. And I always have to remember it is Saoirse. Like, I have to remind myself 3 times before I say it out loud. Because it's what Saorise or something
Yeah,
like
it's something
that.
like that, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just off the top of my head, but like, yeah, it's one of those. I'm like, oh yeah, you say Saoirse. So
Yeah, I don't know how this
it's
is
probably
pronounced.
something way off of slaw, but
It's probably Slaw.
phonetically, that's what it
It's
looks like.
Slaw. Slaw.
No,
It's like
it's
Al
probably
Pacino.
something like
Slaw.
with a B in it.
Oh, the B.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is
Bluey.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Bluey. These are restless spirits who are unable to find a home in the afterlife, so they travel the countryside looking for more souls to share in their misery. They appear as giant flock of birds and always approach from the west, on the lookout for anyone near death whose soul they can claim. Smart families always keep their western-facing windows closed, just in case. Watch out for Bluey. That's what I got from that. Number 10 is the Fear Gorta. a spirit that resembles a starving man. The Fear Gorta, Irish for man of hunger, is said to spread famine, and some claim have seen him frequently during the Irish potato famine of 1845. They are also related to hungry grass, a type of grass in Irish folklore that causes anyone who steps in it to be cursed with unending hunger. That would suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
I hate being hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, another word I can't pronounce. Gancana. I think that's how you say it. No?
It'd be something. Listen, here's a great example.
Bluey.
I'm going to tell you of the lore. I'll get to my list here, but there's somebody that's named Eve, but it's spelled Aoibh.
Okay, yeah, it makes zero
So
sense.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that is probably not even close to phonetically, yes. But Gaelic language is its own beast because it's not what we're used to. Like
True.
B's and D's and V's, and they just aren't the same letters.
So Gancana, this handsome fella, is a type of fairy who appears to women and makes them hopelessly fall in love with them. Without fail, though, he will eventually grow tired of his new girlfriend and disappear. But his supernatural hold over her will never go away, and she will be unable to move on for the rest of her life. Oh, that Gancana. At it again. Number 12, Leannan C. So that's probably like Robert. Just
No.
Robert. Any men who are giggling at the Gancana should know that you're not off the hook. The Leannan Sea is a drop-dead gorgeous female fairy that attracts men in a similar fashion to the way that the Gancana goes after women. But the Leannan She, oh, that one, there we go. It like spelled it out for me. Leanham She, I was close, is even more deadly as she feeds off her victim's life force like a vampire
Probably deserved it.
until he fades away to nothing.
See you later.
Yeah. Okay, bye. And the last one I have here on this list is the Joint Eater, known as Alp Luatra.
Probably not, but go on.
Oh, come on. It's Alp Luatra in Irish, though Joint Eater sounds way
Gaelic,
cooler.
not Irish, sir.
That's what it says in the article.
Well, that article is not correct.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just reading from this. So it's known as Joint Eater. It sounds way cooler. This fairy takes the form of a newt and crawls into your mouth. Once inside you, it eats everything you eat, like a parasite, causing you to eventually starve to death. At least you'll die thin, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Still dead.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just make quick work of my list. So because you had Selkie on your list, and I went on with the Marrow. So this one is and again, I'm probably not going to pronounce the town's name correct either, but it's the Hag of Bara, and also known as the Winter Witch. The Hag of Bara is Ireland's oldest myth, and it is said to grow younger and more beautiful during the winter, but grows older and her powers weaken. She is Ireland's version of Groundhog Day, where legend states that on the 1st of February, the celebration of St. Bridget's Day, is if the weather is poor, it means the hag is asleep and that winter will come to an end. If the day is bright, it means that she is collecting firewood in order to make winter last longer. Some believe that the hag turned to stone and that she is the stone that rises over Coula, C-O-U-L-A.
Koala.
I'm sorry, C-O-U-L-A-H.
Oh, okay.
On the Bara Peninsula. This version of the story explains how she is awaiting for the return of her husband, the god of the sea. I skipped his name, everybody. Today, she is a strong and powerful female personage said to represent Irish women, which is pretty cool. Speaking of cool, now we're going to talk about, I'm going to say his name is Finn McCool.
Oh.
But it's Fionn.
Fionn.
But I think it's Finn, like closer, but his last name is definitely McCool. And the legend of Mr. McCool himself is a very interesting tale. He was an Irish giant who found himself in trouble with I'm going to skip this giant's name. There's no way I'm trying to say that one. a hot-headed Scottish giant who had claimed Ireland. No. Angry with, okay, I'm going to have to say it, Bernadonner, claiming his land, Finn threw boulders into the sea off the Antrim coastline in Northern Ireland. Seeing as how the boulders fell in the water, Finn decided to use them to create a bridge all the way to Scotland's Isle of Staffa, maybe. By creating the bridge, he could finally challenge the other giant to a fight to reclaim Ireland, leaving this bridge of boulders for his rival to find. Finn's wife, here's another good one because they actually have it how you should pronounce it, but it's spelled Sadhbh. Sieve.
Okay.
Sive.
Makes zero sense.
Sieve. Yep. I told you.
Mhm.
It's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just their letters mean different.
It means
and we don't
no
know
sense.
it. And
It's
not
wrong.
what we're used to.
It's all wrong.
According to you, but
Yes.
no. Anyways, she dresses him up as a baby in disguise. And when the Scottish giant arrives for the duel, he finds Sieve caring for this ginormous baby. This causes the Scottish giant to realize that if this is Finn McCool's child, then Finn must be enormous. So the Scottish giant runs back to Scotland, and while hurrying back, he tears away parts of the bridge, severing all ties between Ireland and Scotland to prevent McCool from following him. The bridge left over on Ireland's side is what's known as the Giant's Causeway, reminiscent of Finn McCool's intelligent victory.
So McCool.
Yeah, right? It is so McCool. Like, what a smart giant.
Also, I vote to get rid of this stupid ass groundhog and replace it with a witch.
The hag,
Yes.
even better.
Yes.
What Winter's witch, but they call her the hag.
Hag's Day.
The bog hag.
Yeah.
Okay, so the children of, I want to say Lear, Lir. Anyways, there was once a great lord named Lear who only took the throne for when the past king, which not trying his first name, but Durg is the last name, offered his own daughter, Eve, which I spelled earlier, hand in marriage. This ended a feud between the two. The two lived a happy life together and had 4 children. Their daughter, Fionnuala, their son, I can't say his name, and their twin boys, one of them I can't say, the other one is Conn, Conn. She dies after giving birth to the twins. And so Lear remarried and took the hand of his wife's sister.
Okay.
Another name I'm not going to try to pronounce. The story falls under the category of evil stepmothers as she grew jealous of the love that he had for his 4 children. However, the stepmother knew some magic and decided to murder the children. She proposed to the children a day out by the lake, and upon arriving, she realized she couldn't bring herself to kill them. Instead, she told the children to swim to the lake, and once they were in the water, she casted a spell over them. The 4 children were turned into swans, and the spell would last for 900 years, dooming the children to stay 300 years on the shore. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name, but it is in County Westmeath. Another 300 on the Sea of Moyle, and a final 300 on a small island called Enis Glora in County Mayo. Returning without the children, Lear and his wife, their father grew suspicious, the stepmother's father, and Lear was by the shores somewhere. I'm so sorry. I'm just don't even want to try to butcher these names. They're very hard ones. Anyways, he heard 4 swans singing in human voices and recognizing that they were his children. The king found out, and in becoming furious with his daughter, he cursed her as a demon of the air, the worst shape a spirit could take. And in that state, she remains. So she is a demon of the air.
Okay.
Poof.
Makes me think of Army of Darkness.
Then there's the Pirate Queen of Ireland.
Oh, Pirate
Yes.
Queen.
You would pronounce her name Grace. I'm not
Okay.
going to even spell it. She was surrounded by boats and water her whole life. As her father was the owner of a large shipping and trading company, she lived during the same time as King Henry VIII and under the Tudor conquest of Ireland, to give you a better understanding of time. Her father was the leader of the O'Malley clan. at that time spelled Maille. And despite having a half brother, she was to follow in her father's footsteps to take leadership of the company, which would have been very probably uncommon for that time. In Ireland at the time, opportunistic piracy was no strange act committed within the shipping company. Grace had 3 ships and numerous small vessels as she began imposing tolls on ships that passed through. She raided other ships, coastlines, and islands, and any boat left unattended was hers to plunder. When Grace's sons and half-brother were kidnapped for ransom during the Tudor conquest, she created a meeting for her and Queen Elizabeth I, petitioning for their release. Agreeing to punish the kidnapper, Elizabeth agreed to help her, only if Grace agreed to support the monarchy instead of the Irish rebellions. The pirate queen accepted, though neither kept their word. Grace O'Malley embraced her life of piracy and thus became a feminist legend in Irish folklore, which is pretty freaking cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Pirates and shit.
then there's the goddess of, I want to say it's Eru, which probably got turned to Erin.
Mm-hmm.
But she is the pre-Christian time of Celtic civilization is when that was all blended. And they had a strong history of revering the divine feminine and perfectly personified in Ireland's namesake, Erin. So her and her sisters are known as the goddesses of sovereignty, which means they are goddesses of the land. The 3 goddesses came from the tribe, I'm not sure how to say it. As previously mentioned, they were a magical tribe who were equally led by great warriors, both women and men, and had great equality within their society. And I'm not, just about them, but yeah.
Interesting.
There was one other one I had in here that I was going to. Oh, okay. This is the last one.
Okay.
So this is Matcha, Goddesses of the Horses. This very popular story comes from Ulster, a province of Ireland. The story is about a mysterious woman named Matcha who was rumored to have some knowledge and power of magic. She was forced to run against the king's horses while pregnant, paying for her husband's crime. Pretty messed up if you ask me.
A little bit.
Anyways, the pain that she had suffered caused her to cast a curse over all the men in town. The curse caused these men to suffer labor pain for 9 decades. From researching the goddess, she is more than being associated with horses only. She is also a symbol of divine feminine and sovereign power, just like the goddess Erin and her sisters. So, yeah, those are some big outside of the harp, the shamrock, that kind of stuff. And really, we all know that St. Patrick's Day is just the, Mr. St. Patrick himself drove all the snakes out of Ireland. And this holiday is just another pagan holiday that was renamed.
Hail Satan.
Because this holiday was, I can't quite remember the name of it, but it was the second spring celebration because of would it be equinox? Spring equinox,
yeah, I think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah. So this would have been right around the equinox time. So this was the second celebration of spring in pagan times. So
nifty.
Yes. So the Christians just said, let's rename it St. Patrick's Day, just like everything else.
Just like everything else, yeah. Leave it to a bunch of Christians to
leave it to them.
Do a bunch of stupid, selfish shit.
Well, that's just what they do. They hate the pagans, but they sure took all their holidays.
Yep.
Whatever.
No love like Christian. Wait. Yeah,
No,
no
you're
love
right.
like Christian hate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a good one. So
Sure is.
what's everyone listening and watching, what's your favorite out of all those
Things
what do
that
you
we have
think?
mentioned.
Yeah, it's a lot of information going on there.
And again, I'm here to talk about anime and or video games. I am on the final 6-stage boss fight in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Excellent, by the way. So we could talk more if you want it. There's nothing creepy about it. Not even a little bit, though.
I'm good on that.
No, I was talking to your listeners,
Oh,
not
I'm
you.
sorry.
I haven't tried to talk to you about it. I live with you. I can talk to you whenever. But
Anywho,
yeah.
all that Irish information there.
Yeah, it was a fun little episode,
Yeah.
though. I mean, I think that the Celtic, Gaelic, Irish people, they have really cool like lore and
Mhm.
things to talk about that
Yeah.
can be considered pretty creepy at the same time. I mean, even jack-o'-lantern.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've talked about that on our Halloween episode, but they got some cool shit.
Yeah, I want to look
There's
up.
pagans and druids.
I
Knew
want to
it.
look up some
was
more
good. And picks.
Doolahans
Yeah.
because that thing sounds
You
dope.
should start learning the language so we pronounce everything
God.
correctly next year.
Yeah. I'll get right on that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would be that'd be an experience. I don't think I have time for that.
Nah, I maybe Duolingo. Maybe I should give
There
it a
you
try.
go. Yeah, you'd be better off
Yeah.
with it than I would.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You're smarter than me.
I don't know about all that. In certain things, yes. Certain things. Math, no fucking way I am. Yeah,
Nah,
right.
I math sometimes.
I cannot math.
Well, it happens.
It does happen. But anyways, guys, next holiday that is Memorial, well, again, April Fool's Day, not counting that one, but it's too fucking busy. And there's Easter, but not going to count those ones.
Zombie Jesus
so-
Day.
Yes. I'm just here for the bunny rabbits. And it is our kiddo's birthday around that
Mhm.
time and your birthday around that
That's
time.
why we're taking a break from
Yeah.
a
So we
couple
got
weeks.
we got like birthday, we got Easter, we got your birthday,
Mm-hmm.
among many other things. So very busy time of the year. So Memorial Day will be the next big like holiday that I'll show up. So maybe I'll record a clip or two in case you guys miss me.
All right, you got any final thoughts?
No, that was
That
my
was your
final
final thought. All right.
Love y'all. Thanks for making him 146.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just a quick little shout out again. If you're a fan of horror apparel and accessories, then please go check out my friend Jamie's Etsy shop, Ghoulish Glam by Jamie. Like I said, she has a ton of different items, all with horror movie designs on them. So please go show her some love over on Etsy, and I will put the link in the show notes. But yeah, this will do it for another episode of Blood, Gore, and Ghouls. Go check us out on Patreon. Shout out to Ghoulie Julie for your continued support. And of course, we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, X, and Discord. Be sure to follow on all the social medias to stay up to date on all the news and the upcoming events that are happening here in the Blood, Gore, and Ghouls world. Of course, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, please hit that follow button, download our weekly episodes, and give us a 5-star rating. And last but not least, if you have any feedback, questions, fun facts, or a topic that you want us to talk about on a future episode, then please send us an email to bggpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, thanks, babe.
Thank
for
you.
hanging out for another episode.
Happy St. Patrick's Day,
Happy
babe.
St. Patrick's
Love
Day.
you.
Love you too. But I've been your host, Ian Van Gogh. We'll see you in a few weeks. So you all stay safe out there.
Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you.
There you go. That's it.